Hey guys, Adam Perry here with TrueDFS, and I am going to go over today's 5-game NHL DFS slate. It is a good slate because there is not a whole lot of news we have to look out for, so we'll just do our normal process of looking at projections and building some hand builds, kind of just for, well, it's fun, and we get some no puck knowledge out of that. We get to look at lines, shift charts, things like that, make the best decisions. It's also helped us figure out where the chalk's going to lie. Even when ownership doesn't necessarily say that, we found that it tends to gravitate towards the plays that are strong values in ours. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to use SaberSim to build lineups. I'm going to build for the poke check. That's what I get asked about the most. So I'm going to build, I just threw one in there for the sake of SaberSim, and we'll build a 142 lineup portfolio. What's up, D Pope? Been close, have lately fallen off in the night, determined to take them. Yeah, listen, if you're playing the early games, you always got those late night hammers to worry about, so you fall off. But it depends on where the lineup is. But it's good to hear you've got sweats night in and night out, D Pope. I mean, that alone is a good thing. So shout out to that. Let's go ahead and get started. Just looking at projections. I mean, what do we normally do? We look, there's one news thing I wanted to show. Just watch out if you're a SaberSim user. Faber right now is projected out on SaberSim. We have him in. He is supposed to be playing. So SaberSim's got to fix that. And who knows for sure if they'll get it in before lock, because it's the late night hammer game. So it's not like of huge consequence, but you're probably, you could get some Faber in your lineups just because he plays over 20 minutes. He's not like a great value or anything. But whatever Faber you do end up on, and if you do, know that it's or Faber you don't get, know that's because SaberSim doesn't have him in yet. So keep an eye out for that. Now, what we've been doing is looking at who bunches up in terms of value, and that's kind of given us idea of the quote-unquote best plays. They're not always the best plays because they get owned really highly, but they've kind of helped us build like a chalk build for single entry style stuff, or at least small field stuff. I will say, too, with the new taxes, I mean, I've gone down in volume a lot. And I've really been thinking about what contests I play. It's like I'm not going to play the 3-3-3 anymore. I'm going to be playing a lot less. And I like a lot of these single entries that have like a lot of effective entrants. My ROI has been way more robust in those, enough to cover the new 90-10 thing. So, it depends what your accountant says and what you think in terms of playing. But for me, I'm just looking at where my ROI is the best. I probably should have done that anyway, to figure out where to put, my play, my contest at. So let's go ahead and build with Washington. Let's take a look at their lines. Chychrun coming in as the top value in Sheets metric, then Ovi, Strome, and Bavolier. Strome's on the power play. Chychrun is. Ovi, it's the double D power play. Let's see if we could fit it. Strome. While I do this, don't forget, like and subscribe. Helps the channel out. Check out TrueDFS.com for the packages. Really some of the best deals in the industry. I'll go over it more when we're building with SaberSim. But the price is right. So there's the Washington power play, and it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem to fit it in. Grubauer looking like our top goalie. We still have a pretty good amount of cash left to build with. Van Riemsdyk coming in as a great play. He's on power play 1 for Detroit. He's only 2,800, and I think he's up. Detroit mixed around their lines, and I do believe, no, he's still on line 3. Power play 1. Let's see if we can get him with Raymond. I'm not saying, per usual, SaberSim can solve this better than we can, but Yeah, you could do him with Raymond easily. And you got plenty left. Let's see if there's another like top value play showing up. Panarin, Gunther. Oh, so now Goldie has Protas, and I don't think Protas is playing. Let's see if DFO has him. Let's see if there was news on Protas. I thought Protas was going to be out. I don't see any updates from today. So we should keep an eye on that too. Protas is going to be a pretty consequential. But here, Tom Wilson is day to day. Afternoon on whether okay. So we're still waiting on certainty with Protas. It looks like SaberSim has him out, Goldie has him in. So that's going to be another one to look out for. You know, you could onslaught him really nicely. Protas, Van Riemsdyk. And there's a whole lot you could do. Spanajed, box score watching, he crushed it in the Winter Classic. Just absolutely scorched earth. Where that came from, but so you know, Washington going to be chalky. There's a whole lot you could do with them. No one else really bunching up in terms of value. Like Riemsdyk's kind of on an island, Panarin kind of on an island, Gunther kind of on an island, and then just all these Washington guys jumping up. Normally goalies don't jump up as top values, but you got Grubauer here as like a really strong value. I don't know Seattle against Calgary if they're favorites or they're just small dogs, but the price is probably just right on him. Yeah, $1.25 underdog, but so cheap. Should see decent shot volume against the weak kind of team. Some of the Calgary guys bunching up here. So if you don't play Grubauer, you could definitely get to them. We'll see. Let's see what SaberSim kind of recommends. And remember, there's some injury stuff and stuff they don't have in, but we'll see what it recommends for the poke check. Let's go ahead. Put Goldie's in. I put his ownership in. It doesn't use that to build anymore. But it certainly mattered if you're using the Saber score metric, which some people's plans may afford them. I am just going to play 4-3s and above. So I'm just going to build 4-3s and above. You can say, why don't you build? There's plus EV lineups that are less than that. That's true. But there's so many that are junk. Just so many that are junk. And I only get 5,000. So I want my pool with as many kind of candidate lineups that could potentially grade well as I can get in the small opportunity I have to build them. So, yeah, while it's going, these play-by-play sims are running using SaberSim. Don't forget, again, like and subscribe. Helps us out. I'll be doing this every day. It's just a brief look at the slate, but, you know, you can get an idea for my process that hopefully helps your process. And you shouldn't have to watch it too much, right? Because once you get the process down, you should know how it will change yours or how you could adapt what I'm doing, whatever to your liking. But you know, it's not a picks video. It's not a takes kind of thing. It's just process. And yeah, don't forget to check out TrueDFS.com because you can get access to SaberSim, what I'm using here, plus Sheets' projections, Goldie's projections, the pay dirt model for DFS and for prop betting that does really well in the prop betting markets. You get access to all of that for like $20 more at the starter package of what SaberSim will cost alone. So you're getting like 3 sites in one, but you only got to go one place. It's way better than buying it a la carte. So I highly recommend it. Check it out. You get premium Discord as well. So we're always chopping it up in there. There's a lot of good players, a lot of good info. So please come join us. And let's run contest sims now for the poke check and see what we get to. It is, okay, so we got Sims running, and then we want to build our portfolio manager, diverse portfolio of 142 of these. So we build 142 lineups. Can I go over the twine? Yeah, sure. I'll build for that. Is that 1.5? You mean 1.5K in the pool or up top? I'll figure it out. Okay. Good. Let's take a look at what we got. Now remember, there's some question marks, Q tags, things like that. Chikrin, not surprising. Ovi, not surprising. Strome, not surprising. Not getting the Grubauer, at least as our highest own goalie, getting Gustafsson. A little bit of everyone, but Gustafsson way ahead of everyone else. And Grubauer not. Oh, well, they have Decor projected. Well, that's why. So that's another one you got to look out for then. Let's see which goalie gets confirmed for Seattle. We may not get that till 8:30, but make sure you're playing the right one. But frankly, I mean, Decor and Grubauer are same price. The talent level is not that much different. If we're not getting here, if we had that Grubauer projection, will we get more? Probably, but I don't think we'd get that much more. So despite the good projection on Seattle goaltending, just not getting a lot of it. Let's see in terms of stacks. Washington, the highest, not surprising. Calgary, not surprising. We saw they were the next to kind of bunch up, but pretty spread out. I mean, less than 30% Washington. You get the Calgary, Minnesota. The Minnesota and the Kings for the late night hammer taking up a good percentage of our portfolio. Let's see in terms of onslaughts. So we don't have like the total onslaughts of Washington. Some of the 5-mans, but not the onslaught 6-mans or the 4-mans. We get some of them, but they're not our highest own. So really, we're getting a lot of Washington exposure, but they're as our filler, our 3-mans, a lot of 2-mans. And then, healthy doses of the 5 and 4s, no 6s. But using them as filler a lot. Same with Calgary. That totally tracks because of Calgary's pricing. So yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and use this pool to then simulate the twine. So delete the poke check. Power forward, knucklebuck, hip check, one-timer, mini-max, enforcer, twine. 500K to first, 35 effective entrance. Okay. 1,500K prize pool. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good with 33% to first. I like that. I like that. I wish there were more effective entrants, but didn't get the right ROI here. I did it twice. Don't need to do that. All right, let's see. On the twine, we'll build 5 lineups for it since it's a 5 max. And see what we're getting. All right, so Deep Pope, to answer your question, it looks like in terms of stacks, mostly 4 3s, spread out, 4 different ones. Calgary, Minnesota, Rangers, Kings. Our 5-man is a Utah. So those are the teams I'm getting. Kings, Rangers, Wild, Flames, Utah Mammoth. Is that their new nickname? No longer the hockey club. Utah Mammoth. In terms of 3 stacks, spread out. So just spread out a lot. Let's see if there's any players. The only guys I have in more than one lineup are Chikrin and Kempe. 5 different goalies. So nice diverse portfolio for this 5 max Deep Hope. I think you could play any of those teams. But what does this tell you? I mean, I don't think this tells you exactly who to play, right? And of course, we still have to sharpen up projections, get the right guys in, this and that. Ownership will just get sharper throughout the day and all that. But what it tells you is that in your portfolio of 5, you really want to value, you really got to value diversity, right? In only 2 stacks do we have more than one of, Kings and Calgary. And not, no 2 same 3 stacks or 2 stacks, 4 stacks or 5 stacks. Why don't I even consider 4-2-2? Just because in post-contest sims, it just tends to grade, just doesn't come close to grading as well as 4-3 and above in general. It certainly grades well sometimes. Like I'm not opposed to it, but like I always say, I only get to build 5,000. Like if I build 500 4-2-2s and 350 of them grade poorly in my sims, I just wasted 350 lineups in my small pool of 5,000 that I get. So that's the reason I don't consider 4-2-2. I mean, obviously you can get plus EV lineups that are 4-2-2. If you want to build them, go for it. I don't have a real problem. I do have a problem. I mean, I'm not going to build the 3-mans, the 3-3s, and the 3-2-2s and the 2-2-2-2s. I think that's just asking for it. But yeah, I mean, 4-2-2. It's I don't have nearly as much as of a problem with it as the 3-2-2-2s or the 3-3-2s, whatever they are, 3-3s with one-offs, etc. One of your last wins was okay, but that's results oriented. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a good lineup. It wasn't, but just because a win was like that doesn't mean it grades better on average than 4-3. However, I'm more aggressive with whom I allow Sabres to give me. Yeah, I mean, look, it also depends on the slate size, I think. It's 5-game slate. I'm much more comfortable with 4-2-2 as well. Now, if this were like an 11-game slate, I'm way less comfortable. Definitely way less comfortable with it, if that makes sense, right? The larger the slate, the more there are chances there are for outlier performances that you're going to need to capture to win. And so correlation, it just becomes even more central to the process the larger the slate. And I think we had some input from James last year too, that just the 5-man and 6-man onslaughts, just they don't come in that much higher than the 4-3s, but they get played that much less. So that's another reason to kind of think about them from a game theory perspective. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Thanks for the questions, Deepo. Thanks everyone out there watching. Appreciate it. I wish you good luck on tonight's slate. Don't forget to check out TrueDFS.com to get these packages and much more with them. The price is right. Check out a trial if you want to jump in. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out. And good luck. And let's make